What we see in dreams reflects our inner I, which we rarely allow to manifest in real life. Carl Gustav Jung. The genius of dreams is a topic that has long preoccupied mankind. Dreams, those mysterious visions during sleep, have inspired artists, writers, and scientists for centuries. In his book, The Interpretation of Dreams, Sigmund Freud claimed that dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. In his view, dreams allow us to realize the hidden desires, fears, and conflicts of our inner world. Freud believed that by deciphering the symbolism of dreams, one could get the key to understanding the human psyche. Carl Gustav Jung, a student and follower of Freud, also attached great importance to the study of dreams. He believed that dreams provide access to the collective unconscious, an area of the mind that holds archetypes and symbols common to all of humanity. From Jung's point of view, deciphering the symbolism of dreams, a person comes closer to understanding the depths of his soul. In fiction, the theme of dreams also occupies an important place. In the novels of F.M. Dostoevsky, the dreams of the heroes often foreshadow important events or reflect their inner contradictions. Alexei Tolstoy in the story Popov's Dream describes the main character's dream that reveals his true nature. Surrealists, such as Salvador Dali, actively use dream symbolism in their work, thus trying to unleash the hidden subconscious. From a neurophysiological perspective, dreams are the result of the brain working during REM sleep. Dreams help the brain to process the information received during the day, consolidate important memories, and get rid of unnecessary ones. Thus, sleep plays an important role in learning and memory processes. However, the nature of dreams has not been fully unraveled. Why does the brain create such fantastic, sometimes absurd plots? How can we explain the symbolic language of dreams and the connection between dreams and reality? Perhaps dreams really do harbor hidden meanings, access to which will open up a new dimension of the human mind. The genius of dreams is that they mysteriously reflect the workings of our subconscious, an area of the psyche full of creativity. Aren't dreams a reflection of our eternal dream to comprehend the deep secrets of the human soul and lift the veil on the mystery of consciousness? There are many examples in the history of science when great discoveries and insights came to scientists in dreams. Here are just a few vivid examples. Mendeleev claimed that the idea of the periodic law of chemical elements came to him in a dream. Kekulé discovered the structure of benzene after a dream in which he saw a snake biting its own tail. Bohr formulated a model of the atom based on quantum postulates after a night full of dreams about atoms. Crick recounted that the key idea for the double helix of DNA came to him in a vision in a dream. Einstein repeatedly mentioned that many of his ideas, including the theory of relativity, were inspired by dreams. Hawking claimed that in a dream, he was visited by the idea of radiation emission from black holes, which became the key to understanding their nature. De Broglie formulated a revolutionary hypothesis about the wave properties of particles after a dream about waves and oscillations. Thus, for great minds, dreams often became a source of insights and brilliant ideas ahead of their time. The mysterious world of dreams gave them insights not available in the waking state. Sleep is a natural state of mind, and if we are attentive to our dreams, we can recognize ourselves. Dalai Lama. Despite numerous examples of great ideas coming to scientists in their dreams, there are reasons to doubt the direct causal relationship between dreams and insights. Here are some counter-arguments. 1. Correlation does not imply causation. Just because an insight happened after or during a dream does not prove that it was the dream that caused the discovery. 2. Genius ideas are the result of long preliminary work. For example, D. Mendeleev developed his table for years before his epiphany. Rather, the dream helped to systematize already existing knowledge. 3. Dreams often contain random and incoherent images. It is unlikely that it is they that prompt logically coherent scientific ideas. 4. Many great discoveries have occurred without the aid of dreams, only through hard work in the waking state. 5. People are constantly dreaming, but very rarely it leads to brilliant insights. Most likely, the role of dreams is exaggerated. Thus, the influence of dreams on the creative process should not be absolutized. Dreams are only one possible source of inspiration, but not the only, and not the main one. Genius is born primarily through intense labor and reflection in the waking state. In sleep, we enter a world completely different from the daytime world, which has a reality of its own. Timothy Leary. From the point of view of neurophysiology, during sleep, important processes occur in the brain and the entire body. Brain activity in sleep differs significantly from wakefulness. In sleep, slow waves associated with memory consolidation and learning predominate. In the REM phase of REM sleep, the brain's reward system is activated, which is important for emotional regulation and learning. Consolidation of emotional memory occurs. Sleep allows you to reboot key brain neural networks involved in attention, memory, and decision-making processes. During sleep, there is a release of growth hormone, important for the development of the brain and the entire body. Slow-wave sleep restores the ionic balance of neurons, relieving the effects of neuronal excitation during wakefulness. In the phase of REM sleep, there is an intensive synthesis of proteins necessary to maintain the plasticity and viability of nerve cells. Sleep allows to get rid of toxins, the excretion of which is difficult in wakefulness. Thus, sleep is an absolutely necessary process that ensures the normal functioning of the brain and the entire human body. Sleep deprivation seriously affects cognitive function and health. Sleep is the shortest way into the subconscious mind. Sigmund Freud. The topic of circadian rhythms is of great interest for chronobiology and chronomedicine. Circadian rhythms are cyclic changes in biological processes in the body that repeat approximately every 24 hours. They are set by the body's internal clock and synchronized with the external cycles of day and night. The basic circadian rhythms regulate the sleep-wake cycle, body temperature, hormone production, blood pressure, and many other processes. Disruption of these rhythms due to jet lag, working night shifts, or other factors can lead to serious health problems. Studies have shown a link between circadian rhythms and the onset of metabolic syndrome, diabetes, depression, insomnia, and even neurodegenerative diseases. Therefore, restoring normal biorhythms is often an important therapeutic goal. Further study of the molecular mechanisms of the circadian clock and its relationship to genetic and epigenetic factors opens the way for the development of chronotherapy, a treatment based on the restoration of proper circadian rhythmicity. This approach has already shown high efficacy, for example in oncology. Dreams are a reflection of our unconscious fears and desires. The question of the possibility of restructuring circadian rhythms to the nocturnal mode is very interesting and debatable in chronobiology. On the one hand, human circadian rhythms are evolutionarily set by synchronization with the daylight-dark cycle. Therefore, a complete flipping of the rhythms requires considerable effort. An effective method is to use bright light and melatonin to adjust the rhythms of body temperature, hormonal background, sleep, and other processes. However, a number of studies show that rapid and stable readjustment of rhythms is not always possible. Some people still have signs of desynchronosis, sleep, and well-being disorders. Probably there is an individual genetically determined rigidity of circadian rhythms. On the other hand, some people manage to work night shifts relatively painlessly for long periods of time. This may be due to their chronotype, an innate tendency to owliness. Such people more easily rearrange their biorhythms. Thus, in each case, requires an individual approach, taking into account the chronotype, genetics, and other characteristics of the person. Complete stable readjustment of circadian rhythms to nocturnal? A difficult task, but for individual owls, it can be quite feasible. Insomnia is the triumph of the mind over the body. Thomas de Quincey. The reason for the existence of insomnia in the universe makes one wonder. From a scientific point of view, insomnia is a disorder of sleep regulation caused by a complex of biological and psychosocial factors. Evolutionarily, sleep arose to restore the body, and disorders of this process can be associated with the action of stressors, imbalance of neurotransmitters, genetic mutations. However, if we look at this question philosophically, we can suggest that insomnia has a deep existential meaning. Perhaps the waking hours are given to us to reflect on our purpose and the mysteries of existence. As Blessed Augustine wrote, "Sleeplessness becomes for man a time of observation of himself." On the other hand, lack of sleep is a test that hardens character and will. Overcoming fatigue requires mobilization of inner reserves. Maybe the universe in its wisdom created insomnia as a stimulus to spiritual and personal growth? Of course, there can be no unambiguous answer here, but the very posing of this question broadens our vision of the problem and gives it a universal philosophical scale. The hours of nocturnal insomnia reveal to us the secrets hidden behind the facade of everyday life. Henri Bergson. The protagonist, former student Rodion Raskolnikov, is in a difficult financial situation. He develops the theory that extraordinary people have the right to transgress the moral law for a higher purpose. Raskolnikov decides to kill the old procentratschica in order to rob her and get money for his plans. Before the crime, he suffers from insomnia. Raskolnikov commits the murder, but his theory fails, and his conscience torments him. He meets Sonia Marmeladova, who becomes his moral support. In the finale, Raskolnikov confesses to the crime and goes to serve hard labor in Siberia, where he finds faith in the possibility of redemption. The insomnia of the protagonist Raskolnikov plays an important role in F.M. Dostoevsky's novel Crime and Punishment. The writer describes in detail the agonizing state of Rodion Romanovich before the murder. Already at the very beginning of the novel, it is noted that Raskolnikov spent the whole night without sleep. Then, the day before the fatal deed, insomnia intensifies. The light in his room burned all night, and for this purpose candles were deliberately prepared. Raskolnikov then takes a nap, then suddenly wakes up. He is tormented by nightmares, horrible, ugly dreams. He wanders about the room, lies down on the sofa, but does not fall asleep. On the eve of the murder, insomnia reaches its peak. The night was stuffy, extremely clear, and almost moonless. The stuffiness of the bed tormented Raskolnikov. He could not sleep. Dostoevsky uses the image of insomnia as a reflection of the hero's inner conflict and metamorphosis. This state becomes a harbinger of the fatal crime. Night gives a man the opportunity to delve into the innermost depths of his soul. Plato.